Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Recording has started. And that, my friends, is that delightful tone that lets you know that now is the time for super connectivity. Because I am your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser. And with me, as always, is the blue-eyed bomber from the Burg of Pitts.
Phil Perich.
It's a him. It's a Phil. I just want to make a big thing. Quit hating on Chris Pratt for being Mario. It's a cartoon. He doesn't have to look like Mario to do a good Mario voice. Okay, the only tragedy is that John Leguizamo is not a part of this. Okay? So unless you've been there since John Leguizamo, don't freaking at me about Chris Pratt being Mario. Trust me, I'm sure Chris Pratt can say, "It's me, I'm a Chris Pratt as a Mario in the new Mario movie." I think he can pull that off. It's animated, he doesn't have to look like Mario. It's like, I don't know why people are in that spot of not understanding that, but they're very upset about Chris Pratt having a job. I don't know. And they're like, "Oh, why didn't you cast Danny DeVito?" Because Danny DeVito is not a persona that would be appropriate for Mario. See, Danny DeVito plays misanthropes, and he plays them well. He can be a childlike misanthrope, like Mama from the train. He can be a jovial misanthrope, like the ratings game. Or he can be your traditional misanthrope, like Taxi or Twins. He does not, generally speaking, play a gregarious, non-misanthropic person.
And he's an older gentleman. I'm like, maybe he doesn't have the right voice for that. What they're looking for.
Well, yeah, he would be a much more gravelly voice, and of course, Mario never had a gravelly voice. He's always been, "Hey, it's me." He's always been that very Chef Boyardee pitchman kind of a voice. You know,
they wanted him for Wolverine back in the 80s, didn't they?
He was never in a physical shape to play Wolverine. I'm sorry, hey, he's friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe Arnold could have gotten him into shape, but honestly, I think it would have been like the what was
brother,
it? The Jim,
his twin brother.
Yeah. The Jim Jupiter episode of Married with Children, where Peg meets Jim Jupiter, and she brings him down, doesn't raise him up. He doesn't raise her up. It's like no, it's the black hole. It's like, no, the couch is strong in this one. But yeah, that's that. So it is quite a thing. Quite a thing. But I don't want to talk about that today because it's the internet's own little thing. I want to talk today about Doom Patrol, Philip.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you saw the first episode of Doom Patrol.
Yes.
Here is my biggest concern about Doom Patrol. It almost always has a cliffhanger ending and then we won kind of first episode. It's like, oh yeah, here was the grand threat, and now we've moved on.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember if they had said this or not, but this one, the first episode kind of felt to me like a season finale, and I wonder if maybe they did that because of COVID. Like they shut down early, and then they just came back and made the finale the premiere.
Yeah. But but it wasn't even that, because it's literally just the first kind of 10 minutes of the first episode.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, I have you, and blah, 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 blah. She's like, no, you're going to do what I say because I'm the boss and I'm the dominant personality. So, nanny, nabobs.
No.
I was like, oh, all right, we'll go back then. Because, yes, I am just a mental construct, so technically, as the dominant personality,
Okay, so
you are in charge.
So you're saying this had to be the premiere, because if that had been the end of the finale, people would have been like, wait, that's it?
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just like but it's just, and I think they've kind of did that last time too, where like the cliffhanger was everything is lost, and then it's like, well, now that we've solved that problem, let's get into what this week's problem is.
Dorothy was all worried about the candle maker all through last season, and then they come back and it's just like, we're gonna sit here until till you talk nice to me and we're friends. It's like, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, not for nothing, I think Steven Universe kind of killed a lot of adventure stories, because now you kind of expected to just Steven Universe it. It's like, can we talk about it? And to be fair, Ultimate Spider-Man did that first. So I don't know when Steven Universe started, but Ultimate Spider-Man was like converting villains to hero status like long before that, by just saying, maybe we shouldn't like fight, and like, well, okay, I guess I'm a teenager like you, so yeah, why are we fighting? Isn't that just what everyone wants us to do? Maybe we should not do what the man wants. And it's good. It's good here. Obviously Calder's dead for now. And it is a little weird that they kind of like do it and then go, but here's his head at the end.
Here's his ghost.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, his ghost. Do we get his head in this one, or is that the next episode?
No, at the end, remember they zipped him up in that body bag, and like she took him in that weird alien.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so sorry, Phil. Spoilers for next episode.
They Walt Disney him.
Well, something else happens, but I'll let that. It's an exciting turn of events, but yeah, his ghost shows up, and then the sex ghosts show up. So you haven't even gotten to Dead Boy Detectives, have you?
No.
That's a good thing. That's like our arc for this next section is Dead Boy Detectives.
Yeah, no, the end of the first episode is when that lady drills out of the ground and
Yeah, good old Missy.
Pees on the ground. Yeah.
Which I didn't see like a flap on that, so she like peeing through her pants.
I know. I was like, wait a minute, did she pull her pants out and we didn't see it? Yeah, it seemed weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it was supposed to be she pulled down her pants, she did the pee.
Because she asked for that actress's playbill
program.
Yeah, it's weird.
But that was all, and which is also weird because it's like that. Those are usually kind of laminated. I don't know. I don't think that's gonna feel nice down there. I mean, how bad is it that you need to, like,
It's all about attitude. I don't know.
I don't know, man. It just it was an odd choice they made. They make a lot of odd choices.
Yes.
I get the feeling, Ambush Bug is actually coming to this Suicide Squad soon. I'm excited about that. And I kind of feel like Doom Patrol needs Ambush Bug, and they're just never going to bring him in. I don't think DC's ever going to do a real live-action Ambush Bug, and it hurts me as a person.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think you want them to bring him in because live action DC, man, they're gonna dirty him up if they do it, though.
But the thing is that Ambush Bug is already Ambush Bug was a '90s character, Phil. They had '90s big gun Ambush Bug.
Okay, yeah, but I just mean, what if they ruin what if they do a bad take on the character?
Well, it's DC. I will assume they will.
That's like
but just because it's a bad take doesn't mean it's a bad story.
That's true.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to say about Suicide Squad. I don't know if I was a Suicide Squad purist. I don't know if I would be like, or not Suicide Squad, Doom Patrol. Ugh. If I was a Doom Patrol purist, I don't know how I'd feel about Doom Patrol. But coming to Doom Patrol as I am, I enjoy it greatly. And that's, I think, kind of the thing. It's like, at a certain point, you got to stop playing to the fans and start playing to people who are just here for a good story.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, what can this character do to give us a good story? And you can do some fan service in there, but if you make an internally consistent story that attracts people who like the stories you're telling, then you're going to have a good story to tell. At least that's my opinion on that. I don't know, Philip. It's a lot of a lot. Let's see here. I'm trying to think what was in the first episode. Did you see Robot Man call his daughter?
Yeah. At the end, he's holding the baby. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get the baby. We get him to be a grandpapa and holding the baby, and that's a very pleasant thing to end on. But again, it's an interesting aspect of it because it's like, yeah, he holds the baby. And it's the end of that scene, but
the hands malfunctioning, because remember,
the hands malfunctioning.
Like, there's no problem with it. It's no problem with the robot body. He's like, it's all
up in your head, and that's
organic brain.
Well, it's not the organic brain. It's that
it's psychosomatic.
Well, he wants to touch.
Yeah.
And he can't touch because Calder
can't feel. Yeah.
He freaking Metallo'd him,
Oh, yeah.
And you want to be mad at Metallo, but, he was like, I didn't ask for this. You put me in this body, and you took away the only thing that, well, not the only thing that makes life meaningful, but, external stimuli is something that makes life meaningful.
Well, I mean, however much he can see or hear out of that robot body, but he can't feel, he can't smell, can't taste nothing.
Yeah, and it's like, how hard would that be to just say, okay, well, we'll crack that code too? I mean, even if it's just like, oh no, yeah, we figured out how to make you taste sour things. And it's just like, no, it's going to be work, and we're going to have to figure it out, and we'll get you there. Just come in every, week, and we'll work on the olfactory senses. So that's Calder's biggest problem, is he never stuck with a project. He got it to good enough, and then walked away and worked on something else.
No, he just wanted to get to the results. He didn't care about the people involved.
Well, no, but I mean, even like, if you believe his basic premise of the Doom Patrol story,
yeah,
he was trying to preserve his own life.
Yeah.
So he has this thing, okay, this is going to keep him alive. This could keep me alive.
Yeah. But it's not worth
it. And he was like, well, I don't need to taste and smell and touch. He's like, well, you're saying that as a man who can taste and smell and touch.
Mm.
You can see this is going to have a psychological problem. Maybe you've gotten the brain to stay alive. Maybe you should try to continue to crack this code, because it's just stimuli to the brain. You just have to figure out how to make the stimuli. That seems much easier than whatever else you're going to try and do.
I mean, I could see that Robot Man being the last resort. It's like, you're about to die, and it's like, oh, I don't want to die. It's like, well, I guess if I have no other options, that's an option. But
yeah, but wouldn't you want to have a better option?
But that's what I'm saying. He'll say that to the last minute. If he has no other options, if he's out of options, it's like, okay, if I really want to live, I can do that. But
yeah, but it's like, after you could make it a pleasant life. I guess that's my point. It's like, you can say this works,
unless he's not that great of a genius, and he's like, you know what, I can't get it past the point I have it now. I've worked and tried, and
yeah, well, I just think he has ADD, and he can't. He can't focus. He gets to his point, and he's like, good enough, and goes on to the next thing. And he's not like willing to be monomaniacal. He's not a good supervillain. That's his problem. If he was a good supervillain, he could be monomaniacal until he gets it licked.
You got to fully turn into that skid like that Dr. Doom.
Well, what it is like, if he turned into the skid, got the robot man body working, it solves all the problems.
Yeah.
Even like, yeah, we're gonna upgrade your skin and body, and we're gonna get you into that spot where you are good to go.
I mean, if he had just collaborated with Silas Stone, Cyborg's father, maybe would have.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the problem. Is like him and Silas Stone, and Calder's doing his little steampunk golden age stuff, and it's like, no, man, we're all about mother boxes and integrated circuitry now. It's no more steampunk. It is what it is. So yeah, that was Doom Patrol. How's Stargirl doing? You watch Stargirl?
Good. I mean, oh yeah, because you're behind a couple episodes.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through the episode, just after. I'm not quite sure where. I know I saw the Sportsmaster and Tigress break out to see their daughter, and then their daughter gets manipulated by Calypso, so she loses her scholarship. And then I started, I think, the one after that. And then I haven't finished yet. But what's going on now? Let me know.
Well, they had like the kids had a actual physical confrontation with Calypso. I mean, he killed the Fiddler's kid, and what's the main the young lady who's in charge of the villainous kid. She gets killed too. Yeah, Calypso. It's basically like a horror movie almost. I mean,
wait, she kills the Dragon Master's daughter?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, it almost looks like she gets dragged down to hell. I mean, it like basically like drags her into the earth.
Have they gotten Chuck out of the dark place yet?
No, they haven't. They really at least the last episode or two, they really haven't even mentioned Chuck. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing that Charles McNider, because he doesn't actually go by Chuck, which we saw. Charles McNider is still in that cloud dimension,
probably,
and arguably, maybe now the Dragon Master's daughter is in there too.
Maybe,
and they're gonna have to team up.
Yeah,
because I do think a lot of this is going to be about, again, that Steven Universe quality of how do we team up, how do we build ourselves into a better team by working together. Along those same lines, have we heard anything about Solomon Grundy yet?
Not really. I mean, well, this last episode was really good because like Yolanda's being like, she's feeling guilty about having killed Brainwave, at the end of season 1 because she comes from a very religious family, and and at the end she basically tell for all her friends, her and Courtney let the others know, it's like, oh yeah, I killed Brainwave, and she's and I guess Beth's not okay with it, and it's just and she's like, and then Yolanda's like, we're gonna have to kill Eclipso, right? And she's like, can any of you do it? She's like, oh, I guess that's gonna be my fate. I'm gonna be the only member of the Justice Society. I'm gonna be our killer, I guess.
Well, she is who I forget the character's name, the cat fighter, or
Wildcat,
and that's not to put too fine a point on it.
Yeah,
it's
but
the guy who punches people.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a lot to ask for a teenage girl, who just started this.
Well, that's why the adults say maybe you teenagers shouldn't be superheroes.
Yes.
This is a really big job, and we don't want to say don't be a superhero because obviously we're all superheroes. But we'd kind of like you to have a bit more understanding of the world before you get into this. So you're not haunted with regret and sorrow for the rest of your life. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would like them to do more with Solomon Grundy, just because it's kind of been this tease throughout it. It's like they have the CGI model. I know it costs a lot to bring him out, but come on, man.
Unless they're saving him for something big, like maybe towards the end of this season or something.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Grundy-centric episode or something.
Maybe he's the guy that beats up Calypso,
Yeah. Because we're
Yeah.
about we're a little over halfway. Because this past Tuesday was episode 7, and there's 13 episodes this season. So
Yeah. I mean, you know, I like it. It's really good. I really wish I could watch it live. I have to go back and watch the CW app for it, or watch it through my TV. I thought it was going to record it for me once it became available, or at least say, hey, it's available in my library, but it's not doing that, so it's very annoying. Because for whatever reason, Channel 11 isn't in my streaming service for my television via the internet, so it's very annoying.
and I don't know what episode, but supposedly still one episode, some episode this season we're getting Jay Garrick John Wesley Shipp as Jay Garrick. So
Yeah, well, that's good. He'll come back. He's, it's his gig now. It's like, he's happy to come back to do the job, and I don't fault him for it.
I don't know.
And what else is out there? Oh, Below Decks.
Yes,
You said which was the last episode you saw?
not this week's, but everything before that I saw.
Okay. So what happened in the last episode you saw?
Here, let me refresh my memory here. Look at my thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna sometimes I'll watch like 2 in a row, so I want to make sure some of these aren't bleeding.
Yeah, well, because I can tell you what happens in the last. I remember the last episode because I watched it.
Yeah,
it had a very cool ending.
I watched the first 6 episode. Oh, the last one I watched was the spy one. Where
the Pollux or the Padlocks. The Padlocks.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the Padlocks. They are awesome.
Ormus, you're stupid.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the Padlocks is, and this because I was actually doing some deep research into the Padlocks about it.
You will give me your codes now.
Or the Packlets. The Packlets.
Yes.
The Packlets. And the Packlets aren't stupid. They just don't have a very sophisticated language. And, it's interesting because they have the guy from the culture that only speaks in metaphor on the Cerritos as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have these two cultures. One whose language is inscrutable because it's so ornate,
mm-hmm.
and the Packlets whose language is inscrutable because it's so basic. And the idea that this culture, because one of the things that they were saying about the Packlets is they often use a lot of deception. And they're very good at, looking non-threatening and then striking, which of course is, a useful talent to have for any predatory species. So I find it interesting how the Packlets have evolved. I actually think they're based off of the Creole from Peter David's Strike Force, which were kind of similarly a scavenger race.
Mm.
Although, not officially, but, I kind of feel like both Peter David and the guy who created the Packlets were thinking the same idea. It's like, what if they were just idiots and they created warp drive?
Yeah.
Or what if they just, sort of figured out how to make it work, and they just, because, pieces of alien tech fall on planets all the time.
They just reverse engineered it.
Yeah, or just stuck it into whatever they had. Didn't know how it works. They just know that you push this button and that's what makes it go.
Oh, can I just give a shout out to the cast of Lower Decks? Because I don't know if you watched the Ready Room episode Will Wheaton did with the cast, like the main 4. Mm-hmm. And I guess they said, I thought I heard this before, but yeah, they recorded this entire season from home. So,
mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing about animation.
Oh,
is
yeah.
They usually have you do like 6 takes, with slight variations, and then the director, like that's what the director does or the editor does, is they just take those takes and they say, move this to this and this to this, and now make the mouth fit, and there we go. That's how we do it,
Because what's the name of the green one? Tandy or whatever. I think
Oh yeah.
that actress. She was like she said she did like her whole thing from like, inside her closet. Just so there was no noise and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have to do it the way you have to do it. It's as with all of this podcasting and broadcasting and recording stuff. You need a silent area, and you need to do your work. Yeah, I really like Below Decks. The last episode is very neat because it does have as its central idea the idea that you can't always assume what you think is real, and just to give you a sense, it has this idea about super intelligent AIs just turning evil, and that apparently Starfleet has a whole prison for those guys. Although
but that last episode we were talking about, I love how they were calling the captain, oh, Captain Janeway. She's like, I'm not Janeway.
Well, yeah, because she's the Janeway, and that's the idea. Is like, and this is the thing about language. They're not saying you're Janeway.
Yeah,
they're saying you are the Janeway. You are a Janeway. You are
right,
a
Janeway. Yeah.
Yeah. We know what a Janeway is. You occupy the position of a Janeway. In the same way, it is similar to, again, that other races' habit of just talking in those terms of a metaphor,
mm-hmm.
where, except that instead of Shaka when the walls fell, it's like, what is a current term we use? I was like, oh, she's a Janeway.
Yes.
So really, rather than talking in terms of Shakespearean quotes, they talk in terms of memes. So they're talking party Thor instead of Percutio, because that's what everyone's going to know. Everyone's going to know what a Janeway is. So when they start talking Janeway, we know what they mean. So really, they're a super intelligent race that just has a language that is based on what is the common culture.
Yeah.
And they just know what are the terms that are just going to make you understand what they mean.
All right.
The difference is that, humans, because they're using human references to talk to humans, the humans can't comprehend the complexity of Packlet speech. So, yeah.
All right. You mentioned What If. Can we get the What If?
What If? Party Thor.
This was my least favorite episode.
Really?
Yes. It just dragged for me. I did not enjoy it. I don't think they painted Jane in a. I mean, there were little good things in this episode, like Darcy and Howard, but it's like I don't think they painted Jane in the best light. I mean.
Okay.
I just grew bored with it, and then it's like it almost seemed like, oh, well, this episode was too silly, so for no reason, let's just dump in Ultron Vision at the end of the episode.
You see, and again, this is where we will agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed this episode immensely.
I'll be the Moz. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. No, but it's okay. It's fine. Everyone's allowed to have their opinion.
I mean, again, I still love the series. This is just my least favorite one of the ones.
No, and that's fine. And I won't say this is my favorite episode, but after the last 3 weeks.
Zombies and
of absolute just here's the worst. It's like, oh, this was nice.
Yeah.
And it fell into this nice little, 80s, screw up film. Let's throw a party when mom's away. Revenge of the Asgardians, or it was such a silly thing. I liked the idea.
Off. Okay.
Well, you know what I like? It's kind of an interesting idea. Is what if people weren't so antagonistic? And that's really the message of this, because the idea is that if Thor was an only child, there would not be a competition.
Yeah, but then he
either between him or with Loki. So Loki has his own story in this universe.
Yeah.
and rises in the frost giant culture.
And physically, yes.
Yeah, as well he should, and him and Thor are best buds now. And it becomes this world where, these two kids, not made to compete, simply become best friends as they rise to their own occasions and lead their people to a better world.
Yeah, but then even I'm not even meaning to. Thor's just trashing planets. He's like, the population.
Oh, is he trash? I mean, what? I mean, yes, you can argue he's trashing the planet, but he's partying on Earth, and everyone seems to be having a good time.
Yeah, until you're trying to sleep at 3 a.m. and he's partying on your lawn, Charlie Esser.
Well, he's in Las Vegas. No one's trying to sleep at
Weren't they all over the world? But didn't they move locations?
Well, they went to Paris, and at no point do we see anyone saying, "I might quiet down. It's 2 a.m." We see him expanding, and we see that everyone is enjoying the party atmosphere. Even the Pennsylvania Dutch are going on Rumspringa.
I know, but it's like, are you? It's like, are you trying to drive down the road? If they don't move the party, no one can move the party for you. So,
well, I don't know. I enjoyed it as a conceit, and it is a conceit. I love the idea that he says, when they're in Vegas, when they're on Vegas, and they just keep on bringing him drinks, says you can drink as much as you want, and they never run out because it's magic. And it reminded me of Clark's Law. Any significantly advanced science is indistinguishable from magic. In this case, any significantly advanced customer service is indistinguishable from magic. So it's like, for Thor, the beer just keeps coming. The drinks just keep on coming. He doesn't know where they come from. He doesn't know why they come, but he doesn't have to wait.
Look what they did.
And presumably people are losing lots of money at the tables. Everyone's having a good time.
But look what they did to poor Nick Fury.
Well, he ball cannon, as Korg says, Taika Waititi's one line in this episode.
I know. He's in the credits, gets one line.
Well, they had him come in, and, but what I loved about it was just this idea that everybody is kind of chill. And, like, to have the Grand Master show up just to party. And Nebula, because that's the thing, within this, there is no reason to think that the Grand Master isn't still running Ultimate Fighting League on his planet. There's no reason to think that Nebula isn't still working with Thanos and his dark plans. But, a party's happening, and everyone shows up, and everyone is kind of chill at the party. And I think that's a beautiful idea. What if we were just excellent to one another and partied on, Phil? Wouldn't that be a wonderful world?
He's a trespasser.
And yes,
Captain Marvel asked him to leave. He would not leave.
He would not leave, but then they call his mom, and then they clean everything up. We had the nice Superman 3 reference where he fixes the Eiffel Tower. Not the Eiffel Tower, the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah.
Leaning Tower of Pisa. And and that's fine. That's all we needed from this episode. I think it worked. I think it gave us a good story, and I liked it. That's all I want from my story. And then we have the Watcher kind of blindsided at the end, which is, and then, as the humans say, they lived happily ever. What? Wait, what? I'm a little mad they didn't have him say what the, because that would have been appropriate. Wait, what the? But he says, wait, what? Because even he's blindsided when, Infinite Vision shows up. And it is the Vision in Ultron's body, covered with Infinity Stones, yada, yada.
Okay.
Because,
I was going to say, in Thor's partying in Vegas, where's Tony Stark? Tony Stark's not going to show up for the party?
Well, no, I guess, he is, well, and remember, if this is following the MCU timeline, he has just become Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to build his armor, so maybe he didn't hear about
Maybe.
it. Because Thor 1 comes at the same time. No, it does come at Iron Man 2. So, I mean, arguably, maybe he should have been there, but maybe he was dealing with his own stuff at the time.
Maybe.
So, I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
So because Thor had no brother, Thor didn't grow a beard. Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, with Thor with no brother, he stays somewhat infantilized. He's the only son. He's doted on by his mother and his father. Which really, Odin has a history as a trickster god, so you think it'd be much more of a trickster in this, and maybe get him to do stuff. But like I said, man, I love the 80s movie reference in this of the party throne and then having to clean it up afterwards.
And how great is that Odin power when you have to take long naps every so often to recharge it?
Well, every 1,000 years.
I don't know, man. I can't tell you how many times he's taken an Odin sleep in the comics.
Well, yeah, that's the comics, and for what it's worth, he's probably been running on empty the whole time. It's like when he finally, okay, now I can do an Odin sleep, and he never gets a full Odin sleep. It's like he's supposed to get a full 800 years of Odin sleep, each Odin sleep, and they always wake him up within like a week. So it's like, no, I'm recharged, I'm good. So if you had a well-rested Odin, then you'd know why he's the Sky Father. But It's like, what are you going to do, Philip? What are you going to do? Oh, you want to talk comic books?
Yes, sir.
Did you read Fantastic Four this week, Phil?
Yes, I did. Hey, look, we got another issue. We just had one last week.
Yeah, well, we had to build up how awful it is that, he can't touch anyone. He has to live in a asbestos room now, and just like we kind of established last issue when we're talking about when he first became the Human Torch. And
they gave us that scene from like Fantastic Four #1. You know what I like more than messing with cars?
Yeah. And it's just this idea that it's cool in the idea that he has to deal with this, but he has already dealt with something similar.
Mm-hmm.
He knows his power set is much more than just creating flame, because he has in the past used ice powers because he has control over flame. So really the issue is how is he going to control this flame? And
well, it seems like they're hinting around that it's tied to like his emotional state too.
Well, yeah. Well, of course they're always tied to their emotional state, but I don't know. I think they should just take out some of that. There's an interesting question. My theory is that the juice that the Thing drinks is just a placebo.
Yeah.
That he just drinks it and he just says, "Okay, now I can't. Here are the rules on when I can be human again." The problem is that Johnny Storm isn't in this situation because of a psychological block. He's here because he's been manipulated by Doom. Yeah.
Doom found the way to tie it to his guilt, maybe, because he made me feel guilty because one, he cheated on Sky, and two, I mean, we see, she got mutated because she was bonded to Johnny through that armband.
Yeah. And she goes home, which is fine.
After she takes that armband off.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they're kind of setting it up to reset, which I
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, now he's going to be single again. And because I think a new writer's going to take over soon, too. So
Maybe.
let's get all the toys back in the box. And it's like, okay, but what do we've already done this with Johnny. It wasn't as bad as this, and I think they're kind of overemphasizing how bad it is. And the idea that it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, like you said, we've been here before. It's like we really haven't tried have we tried sticking him in a vacuum?
Well, I mean, that was actually my first thought. There was this thing where the original Human Torch, like, had a little skin around his skin
Mm-hmm.
to keep him from catching on fire. They never quite explained how that worked, but it was a thing they came up with, a membrane. And it's like, well, what if we put him in a membrane,
Or just stick him in a room. Just try lowering the oxygen levels and see if that does anything to that flame.
Well, because you don't want him to die.
Well, I'm saying take the oxygen level down where it's just enough where he can survive, but see if it dampens that flame any.
He would probably still generate the heat.
Maybe.
That's always the idea, is that, he just keeps on generating enough heat, but now the air is not helpful.
That damn college dropout.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's so inconsistent. But
so like I said, this was the last issue of Guardians of the Galaxy this week, so I wonder if Doom's coming back to Earth then. I mean,
yeah, maybe. So was that a Doombot who did all this?
I don't know if they were. I thought they were playing with the timeline where it seemed like wasn't he supposed to leave right after the wedding or something. So I assumed that it was like he was getting married and then he was going off to the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff.
I guess that works. So Doom comes back, but by then then in comic time, they've probably already cured Johnny.
Oh, you know what he did? I forgot about this. Guardians of the Galaxy. They defeated Dormammu. Doom, of course, it's Doom. He stole some of Dormammu's powers and locked it in that armor.
Oh, Doom! Why? Why do you? Why do you cause problems? Well, and that kind of leads into the death of Doctor Strange.
Oh, did you read that?
Yes, I did. I did. And Zounds, yes. So Dormammu's kid with the pumpkin head. It's like, what's going on with my dad? It's like, dude, do you not know your dad's fighting the Guardians of the Galaxy right now?
Yeah.
That was a weird thing for me in that whole concept, but so I'm not quite sure what the whole thing is here. Who is attacking who? Who's eating who? Is this the science dimension incursioning again?
I don't know. We don't know who the antagonist is, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, like, I think I was kind of confused, but I think I read somewhere, I guess he took like a piece because he kept talking about that guy and his soul and stuff. So I think I think someone said when he was beginning as Doctor Strange, he like maybe cut off like a small piece of his soul and put it in this whatever pocket dimension or whatever.
Well, what he did was he created a time looped version of himself.
Or just an earlier, he locked away this earlier version.
Yeah, exactly. He created a time travel duplicate said, I need you. So effectively, like Loki once said about creating duplications, so that you create a exact mirror of yourself. And he's like, so he created this version of himself and said, if I ever die, you're going to be called into action. I'm going to put you in stasis now. And he's like, okay, that sounds cool. We must be pretty great wizards that this is where we're at.
So yes, kids, Doctor Strange's replacement is Doctor Strange.
Yes, and you notice he doesn't have the Eye of Agamotto.
Nope.
Nor the Cloak of Levitation.
Nope.
He's got the old square box.
He's all Ditko, kids.
Yeah, classic Ditko, which is, a whole lawsuit currently happening.
But yeah, so yeah, someone kills Doctor Strange, and of course, the second Doctor Strange dies, the Avengers are going in. Man, there's all these dimensional menaces are showing.
Yeah. Oh, gods. Because he recognizes his attacker. And it's not Dormammu.
No, because I mean, doesn't he seem kind of calm? He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Oh, he says, "How odd? What are you doing at my doorstep? It has been a long day," and that's when he gets stabbed, I guess.
So yeah. So it's either big prediction. Spoiler alert: the time travel duplicate version. That's who killed him.
Oh.
In his stasis, he figured out how to get out and kill Doctor Strange so that he can be out.
Physician, kill thyself.
Yeah, big prediction. And that's going to allow us to reboot Doctor Strange to the younger version. Something more in line with the comics.
He's still got gray hair, so I don't know how much younger he is.
He's always had gray hair. It's like Reed Richards. He had like brown hair for like 2 issues, and then the stress of superheroing just ages them.
Damn cosmic rays.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I think so that's my big prediction. Mark my words. Time travel duplicate Doctor Strange killed Doctor Strange, which is why he knew his attacker. And then next month we're gonna start walking through this story as he tries to hide that he was the killer, because we see that Mordo is mad. We get Mordo and Caecilius in this. I don't know if they've ever teamed up before, but Mordo and Caecilius, and they're like, Mordo's like mad. Yes, I was the one who was supposed to kill Strange.
Oh yeah, it's always. Oh, he's supposed to die by my.
I am his arch nemesis. It's like, really? Are you though? I mean, that would be. To be fair, it's like. I know you're a villain he's fought many times. And it's sort of like, when Otto says, I am your arch nemesis. And it's like, kind of me and the Goblin have a thing. And I know, trust me, I don't underestimate your villainy in any way. But I'm always worried way more about Goblin because he's so crazy. You're a nice, sane supervillain, Otto, so I can work with you. It's gonna be a thing, my friend. I still say Wong for Sorcerer Supreme.
That would be the logical way to go, but like I said, I don't think they're going to go logical. I think they're going to go, hey, what's popular? Hey, Scarlet Witch.
No, I really don't think. First of all, I don't think you can make Scarlet Witch Sorcerer Supreme. I think it's gonna hit a wall because it's like as I said, she has powers that could even rival the Sorcerer Supreme, which suggests that her chaos magic is like the opposite side of the coin.
See, that's the thing, though. I think they're gonna plug somebody in there who's not as competent. So the whole point of the story is gonna be, this is why you need a Stephen Strange. If you plug Wong in there, he's too competent. You'd be
I'm sure people said that about Dr. Voodoo, but he did just fine.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can't.
That's the thing. It's like if you put someone in, anyone is incompetent until they're competent. It's like Bucky was kind of an incompetent super soldier or Captain America until everyone liked him, and they're like, okay, we'll leave him there. I think that there is a reason to make Wong Sorcerer Supreme, as I've said, is expressly because he doesn't want it. And I think as we're talking about the whole thing about the Vishanti and the Vishanti choosing a new person, who knows? Maybe it was Agamotto himself who kills him. It could be because he's one of the Vishanti, as I recall. And, it is just the idea that, that's who killed Doctor Strange. That rather than let a villain do it, That's actually what happens when they do the whole trial thing, because they're just done with you, Strange. And now your time travel variant has to sort of reclaim the title. It's a possibility, but you know who really deserves to reclaim a title? You read Captain America.
Yes, sir.
You know, yeah. You're gonna go get John Walker in a bar.
John Walker walks into a bar.
You're not even gonna call Dennis.
Oh,
You're not even gonna say, "Oh, hey, Dennis, how you been?"
I guess they're getting literal. They're like only people who have been Captain America at a certain point.
Well, and I was running through this whole thing where like, oh, you got John Walker in your crew, huh? Well, it was a Captain America thing. It's like, oh no. When I went and enlisted and I was over in Iraq, I actually did have a shield and I was doing a Captain America thing. It's like, oh man, I didn't even know. Oh, if I only had known, I'd have called you. I just don't know why he's not calling Dennis.
Well, maybe it's because Dennis is his friend, so it's like, this might be a hard thing. Hey, I don't know, let me go get some cannon fodder. Hey, John, what you doing?
Well, I get the idea. That they're going, and of course that Commander Kruger. See, that's their Captain Carter reference. There is that Warrior Woman is now Commander Kruger. And she's gonna get Hate Monger out of the suspension bin.
And that shield unlocked. His Captain America's shield unlocks it. That's why they needed that shield.
That is just a dumb idea, by the way.
I know. It's like, why? I mean, it's the Marvel universe. You couldn't do like Steve Rogers' retina scan or something. You got. I mean, it's gonna be an odd.
Why not just a random code, like
that you change every so often? Yeah.
I mean, he's Captain America. He can remember a code.
And why is Steve Rogers in charge of? He's the one who can release Hate Monger. It's like, do we not remember Hydra Cap?
Well, first off, why would Captain America want to release Hate Monger? It's sort of this kind of idea, like, why do we want to release on the Hate Monger cell?
Exactly.
It's like we never. It's like I'm trying to think of like that one moment when someone says, "Oh, if only we could release the Hate Monger." It's like, well, I mean, it's a cell. We could always blow up the walls, and that will let him out. We could always just stick dynamite around it. We don't actually need the shield to just do the release.
And I mean, he's like a form of energy now, right? So it's not like he's like eating or needs to use the bathroom. Why are we? Yeah, why are we putting him in something that can be opened? It's like, let's put him in a tube.
Well, they put him in something that could be open because A, they didn't want anyone saying it was cruel to keep him in a cell that can't be opened. And B, they probably wanted access to him to do experiments on him.
Oh,
because I mean, it's the same thing with the freaking symbiotes. Put them in you could put them in a glass cell that they can't get out of.
Let's basically experiment.
But but we still want to do like experiments on them, right? We're still gonna dissect them, right?
Experiment on Hitler's ghost. That won't go wrong.
How could it possibly, Philip?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I just feel bad for D-Man in this whole story. Yeah. I feel bad for Becky Barnes too. But in those concepts, it's like there are people who are going to say, "Oh, well, they don't know about him." But but Cap knows about D-Man. Yeah. Even knows that he's doing well right now. Even knows that he's got a pet like teleport dog. It's like he's doing okay for himself, and maybe it would be cool if Cap hit him up and said, "How you been? How you been, Dan?" Bet you Ben Grimm talks to Dennis Duffy more than Cap does anymore.
No.
Well, wrestlers. They were wrestlers. Yeah. They were wrestling partners for years, and so well, a year anyway. Anyway, what else did we read this week, Philip?
else did we read Marvel? I don't know, because we did a bunch on capes. Yeah. I wanted to bring this up to you. Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroads #3.
Did not read it.
Oh my god.
What
Yeah.
happens?
Oh my, they got Spider-Man and the Hulk get thrown into the Valley of Flame. They meet Moon Boy and Double Dinosaur, of course, but
Oh, good old Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur.
I believe Banner gets the Mind Stone attaches the Banner, and something comes out of Banner, but it's not the Hulk.
What comes out of Banner?
This black monster comes out of him and says, "Hello." Like he's attacking the natives. He's like, "Hello, you can call me Brian."
Oh, Brian Banner.
Yes. Because even Spider-Man's like, "What is that?" He's like, "That's not the Hulk."
Yeah.
Because he's just like, yeah, Brian's just like ripping up, people and animals around here, and gets in a fight with Double Dinosaur. And then Carnilla, Queen of the Norns, sends her people after the Mind Stone.
Well, that was smart on their part.
And remember, in the last miniseries, Symbiote Spider-Man miniseries, we got Kang because, Loki series. So at the end of this one, they get thrown into, who do they run into? Crow and the Deviants, because the Eternals movie is coming.
Oh, good old Crow.
Yeah.
I like his movie variation better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it is what it is, Phil.
And of course, Doctor Strange is trying to retrieve Spider-Man, so you get Doctor Strange in here.
Retrieve him from what?
Well, he basically he basically gets trapped in the crossroads where the Hulk is at this point.
Oh, the crossroads of infinity.
Yeah.
As you do. Okay. So my final book this week is Reptile. And it's a sweet story about coming to terms with who you are, letting go, growing as a person, fighting dinosaurs, and then realizing you have the power to control dinosaurs. And that being a crazy evil monkey man who steals from billionaires does not pay. But the hag of the pits is still in charge, so that's good. I enjoyed it. It was a fun read. I like Reptile as a character. Started in the superhero squad, and then they retconned it so that they could use him elsewhere. And it was a good book. Not much more to say about it. Any books you want to talk about before we call it a night, Philip?
No, I think we hit most of them between here and Capes and Lunatics. So yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I know there's always more because there's that X Corp one and other things I did not get the chance to read, but we'll get to it eventually. Anyway, everyone, I hope you enjoyed listening. If you did enjoy listening, I hope you'll reach out to us and talk to us. And Philip, if they'd like to reach out to you, how can they do so?
The easiest way is to email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And again, follow us everywhere on social media, all of our shows. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our Patreon, because yes, right now we are all paying for this out of our own pockets. So if you can donate anything at the Patreon or pick up merch, everything is at Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics.
And of course, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way the way our mothers and fathers once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, one word, at gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitter, as I live tweet things when I feel like it and I have time and the channels come in, at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIESSER. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming here tonight and connecting with us. I certainly hope you're coming back again next week to super connect with us again. Good night.
Good night.
Doing the shoulder dance. That's 1 hour.
Yeah. So you want to do short episodes, but you're full of knowledge.
There's too much to ever contain in one episode. That's the problem.